If y'all just came in, go ahead and sign into Chrome and open up those two URLs there. Those who are watching remotely, I'll share that here in just a second with you. Mr. McClurg, come on in. Yeah, Mike, I got two websites there.
Okay.
Open one up in each tab, okay?
Okay.
It's bit.ly/get the doc and bit.ly/get slide deck. I'm sure Emily can help you there if you need it. All right, just as soon as my screen recorder loads up, we can get going. Oh, that's interesting. It didn't preserve my license key. Admit. Video, record system audio, microphone on. Okay.
Hey, Tom.
Yes, sir.
This thing was working 5 minutes ago. I came up here. We can't talk.
May have to just reboot that thing. Okay. All right, thank you all for coming. This is our first session. And welcome all those who are joining remotely. Appreciate you all making time to learn more about some of the things we're teaching this year with technology. We have a full house here, so that's nice to see. I hope we get something out of what we're showing you today. If you haven't pulled up these URLs, go ahead and do so. bit.ly/get the doc and bit.ly/get slide deck. You'll want those in front of you because that's going to give you access to the slide deck we'll be working from as well as the resources page. And let me go ahead and unfreeze my screen here. And we'll be working from this. And I might have to quickly switch back and forth from here. I have a few people that are trying to join remotely, and I want to let them in. Okay, if you look on your agenda here, you're going to see, and those who are joining, go ahead and mute your screens or your microphones if you would, please. Things that we're going to be talking about, we're going to start with picking templates, and we'll end with some fun add-ons that will help you, allow you to do more with Google Slides. All right, there are some supplements down here that you'll probably want to get. You'll see the sample data. If you click on that, that'll go ahead and make a copy of that spreadsheet. It'll put you in your Google Drive. We're going to be doing that a little bit later in the presentation, inserting a spreadsheet. So I've given you all access to one that you can use. All right, so all you have to do here is just click on that link and then visit it, okay? And where you can't make a copy, you can always download it and drag it into your drive. All right. Having said all that, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to go ahead and look at is picking templates in Google Slides. And there are many different slide templates you can pick from. And you notice on the presentation that I'm doing, I've shown you the path from how to get to the actual templates. And so we can go there by clicking File, New, and you have a new presentation, or you can work from a template. All right, so if you chose template, you're going to see a new tab appear, and there are many different types of templates that you can work with. Many of you are probably already familiar with these. These can all be fully customized. And as I'm explaining this, feel free to follow along and do this on your own. We also have some templates that are specific to Alcoa City Schools that our teachers here can create and actually submit, so you could use them over and over. It looks like we have a few here. Got a sports certificate. I think I did that one a few years ago. But you see the little submit template that will allow you to upload ones that others can use as well. Whenever you click on a template, what it does is it takes that presentation, makes a copy of it, and it places it in your drive. It then belongs to you. Okay? All right, and so if you were to click on any one of these, it would basically load up that presentation. So let's say I went to General Presentation. I could click on that, and there it is. And at this point, we could go ahead and get to work with it. All right, I'm going to close out of that. Let's move on to the next, which is opening files. All right, what you would do there is, again, go through the File menu, and then you would choose Open. Google Slides will open up any PowerPoint presentation as well. So if you're coming from, say, another district, or you have old resources, maybe on a thumb drive that you'd like to get into slides, you can do that. You're just going to choose the upload option right here, and you drag that into the well. All right. I've never really experienced any kind of issues in terms of compatibility with PowerPoints and slides. There might be a couple issues you deal with regards to maybe a different type font, but those are not that big a deal. All right. Of course, you can have access to your drive, shared drives, files shared with you. That's going to be how you get to them. Recent, that's most useful for me, because typically when I want to open something, it's something that I've worked on most recently. So that's how you can easily find it. Okay? And if at any point today I'm going too fast, just raise your hand. I'll slow down, okay? All right, let's look at the next, and that's going to be editing views. And by the way, I'll do another session later on Google Docs, but they have a new feature here that allows you to add checkboxes that you can go in and mark things off. Yeah, that's bonus information here for you. Okay, adjust the page layout. Let's see how we do that. Okay, and I might not have actually, did I put that on there? Or page setup. Yeah, I think that was, yeah, that's right. Adjust the page setup. All right, so what we're talking about with the page setup is going to be the dimension of the presentation. So if you're working on a 4:3 aspect ratio screen, you'll likely want to design a presentation that has that same aspect ratio. Another useful thing that you may want to do is to change the aspect ratio so it's the size of a sheet of paper. I've seen teachers use slides as a publisher type application where you can drag all kinds of elements and then print to a regular piece of paper. Here's how you do that. You're going to click on the File menu, right? And then you're going to choose Page Setup. All right, so right now, this is formatted for 16:9. If I click there, I see some other options. All right, but if we go to Custom, notice what you can do. Typically what I'll do, because I know what the output size is going to be, I work with pixels. But if you wanted to say set it up for being printed on a regular piece of paper, you would just type in the dimensions there. So it's 8.5 by 11, right? And then it would look a little funny on there, but then you actually are going to have a lot of control of the type of content that you can bring in. Yeah, so it sort of serves the purpose of being a graphics editor and word processor all combined into one when you do it this way. All right. And I will say that when you change the page size, it does affect all the slides in the presentation. So you can't have one be one way and another be another. Okay, it's going to apply it to all of them. Okay. All right. Let's go to, I guess I skipped over that. That's going to be slide number 4 there, editing views. And I may have mislabeled it on the resource doc. But you'll notice down at the very bottom of Google Slides, you have a different view here. All right. You have grid view, which is going to look like this if you click on that, which shows you all your slides. This is an easy way to rearrange them and change the order. And you'll notice the controls down at the bottom there will allow you to zoom in or out. So if we click the minus symbol, see what's happening there? Makes the view smaller, at which point we could take and drag and position them wherever we need to. Okay? And then we can switch views, of course, by just clicking on our icon back over here. You also find that under View. Okay? And go View, Grid View, there we are. View, uncheck grid view, and we're back to normal view mode. Okay? There was page setup, which we just went to. Okay. Picking a slide theme. Okay, the theme is going to be related to the types of fonts and the colors that are used in the presentation. All right. Lots of options available there for you. All right, what you'll do to change the theme is to go up to the slide menu and then change theme. And you'll see a panel appear on the right with a lot of different themes, options you can choose from. And there are quite a few. This little import theme button will allow you to take existing presentations, a style that's been applied to those, and import that into your existing presentation. Okay? And you've got this little magic button down here. See where it says Explore? If you click that, you're going to have some other layout options as well. And we'll close out of that panel to give ourselves a little more real estate here. All right? Line, paragraph, and spacing. Okay? All right. You'll find that under the Format menu. So if on this slide we had some text, all we would need to do, and we do have text right down there at the bottom. See? If I selected that text and then went up to Format, okay, text, format, line and paragraph spacing. Where are we? Yep, there we are. There you can adjust the line spacing here. Add space before and after the paragraph. That's where those options are. So if the text in your paragraphs don't look the way you want them to, it's not because you don't have the controls to make them look the way you need to. All right, you just need to find where those controls are. They're right here. All right. Any of you ever used alignment guides or know what I'm talking about there? Okay, these are very handy because what they'll do is they'll allow you to put virtual lines on your screen, and that makes it easier to line things up. All right, and you'll find that under the View menu. So if you click on View, okay, and then Guides, and then Show Guides, you'll see what will happen here that will appear. Now this will not be there during the presentation. All right, that disappears. But if you drag different elements on here, so let's say I drew a little shape right here. If I move that around, see how it turns red whenever I have it aligned to that guide there? Makes arranging elements a whole lot easier when you're using the guides. And of course, you can always turn those off by going up to View, Guides, and then uncheck that. And you can add as many guides as you want there as well. It doesn't have to just be the one vertical and one horizontal. Okay. Add, remove, or skip slides. So let's say you've done a presentation for your classes, and there might be a few slides in the presentation that you don't want a certain class to see. Well, you can actually make those invisible during that presentation. The way you do that is by going to your grid view here, and if you Control-click, okay, you're going to see the option to skip the slide. So when you skip a slide, what's going to happen is during a presentation, it'll go from the slide that's previously to the slide immediately after it. All right, so if I choose skip slide there, you see that it put a little eyeball with a line through it. That means it's not going to play this slide during a presentation. All right. And there's more than one way to do these things. I'm showing you different paths. All right, that one was through page setup. So File. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Insert and edit images. Okay. A lot of options here. So what we're going to do is click on the Insert menu and then go to Image. Now we can upload images from our own computer, or we can search the web right from slides. If we chose that, okay, let's say I'm looking for an image of a lion. See what comes up here? I could choose that and then insert. Now I've got it in slides. Didn't have to get on a website and do any searching. I've just automatically brought it right in. Super easy. Okay. Insert image. You can pull images from your drive, from your photo album. If you have the URL of an image, you can just paste that in there. Or you can use your webcam. Let's all try that right now using your webcam. Take a picture of yourself and edit it in there. I'm going to do it. I'll be brave. Okay. Image from camera. Should pull it up. And did I miss it? Oh, I got it. Okay, there we go. All right, so I got it, and there I am. Okay, done. Your images, you can do a lot with these images. And let me pull another one real quick, just so you can get an idea of what can be done with these images. You can place masks over them. You can crop them. You can recolor all of them. So for example, this lion that I have here, if I want to maybe crop it with a circle, I can use the image mask here. So see here, there we go. Then I can move that around if I want to, just a little bit. Resize them. Here we go. Okay. I can put a border around them if I want to. See that? I can even go to Format Options and look at all these. I can recolor it. Add a little drop shadow or a reflection. Look at that. Easy. And of course, to get rid of any element, you just simply strike the delete key on your keyboard. Yeah, it makes sense though, doesn't it? Delete. How do I delete this? Well, hit delete, right? All right, insert and format diagrams. This is fun because it's so easy and there's a lot of different options here for you. All right, so what you'll do is you'll click on the insert menu and you'll choose diagram. And look what we've got over here. So you don't have to create these things from scratch. You've got hierarchy, timeline, process, cycle. So if you click on any of these, it'll give you more options. And then, so for example, in cycle, we have 3 steps. We can go as high as 5, and we can change the color here. Look at that. And then we can bring it in. And then once we get it in there, we can type into the individual elements. See that?
What did you click on to make it go from the side to the center?
Oh, to get it actually in there. So for example, if I chose process, I just picked the one that I wanted. So yeah, if I click it, it'll automatically put it in there for me. Yeah, at which point you just change the text there to have it say what you want it to. Okay. Insert data chart. All right, and this is something that people have struggled with in terms of other programs. What's so nice about Google Slides and Sheets is that they are talking to one another. So you can see this example graphic I have here, but I also have this sample spreadsheet that I inserted. And this is a live data sheet right here that is coming from Google Sheets. And you can see the controls right here. If I click these, I have the option to unlink it, so it's basically its own standalone graph, or I can open the source. If I choose open source, it's going to take me right to that spreadsheet where I can edit the information. So this was just some info I had on students in the school system. This isn't accurate, but let's just say the high school got 1,200 students. All right, that's going to dramatically change the graph. All right. So I made the change, and when I come back here to Google Slides, it notices, oh, there was a change with that data. So I'm going to update it, and now the change is automatically reflected. Super easy. Yeah, and how we got that chart in there was just by clicking Insert Chart. You can see you can manually create one there, or you can pull it right from Sheets. You have it in Sheets. Insert audio and video. This is another challenging workflow if you're using other applications. I've seen people sometimes just put links to YouTube videos during a presentation, then they click on the link, then it opens up another window, then they can't get back to the original presentation. So remember the presentation Becky did at our all employees meeting, where it went from slide to slide, you saw videos. That's because everything was embedded. We didn't have to jump out of anything. We did it with slides. All right, so here's how it's done. If we move on to, it's going to be slide 13, you're going to see a video there and then audio. So right here is a little video, and you all can play with this as well. I've already inserted it, but this is what you can do with it. So once you have it selected, if you click on your Format Options menu, you're going to have playback options. All right, so you can choose to have the video play on click, play automatically, or play manually. So how I set it up for Becky was I enlarged the videos so that when as soon as she hit the slide, it would automatically play. Simple. She was like, I don't have to click anything. It's like, no, because we have these settings the way that they are. Inserting the videos are very easy. You're just going to click on the insert menu and then go to video. You can pull the videos from your Google Drive, or you can get them from YouTube. And you can actually do a search from here if you want to. But the great thing is the videos then are embedded in your presentation, and you're not having to fight with the presentation just to get them to play. It's super easy. Same thing with audio. You can add audio files to your presentations. We have one here. We can play it. All right, the way you get that in is just click Insert Audio, and then it'll pull MP3s from your Google Drive. All right, so if you find some that you want to use, put them in your Google Drive, and then you can add them. Once they're in there, just like with video, you have some options that will allow you to play it on a click or automatically. Whenever you arrive at the slide, you can adjust the volume here. You can even have the audio loop repeatedly if you want to. And you can take an image and replace that little audio icon there. So if you want the slide to have maybe a button or a photo of somebody and then the audio image associated with it, all you'd have to do is select it, and then if you chose replace image, you could just pick the image that you want to use, and then that graphic becomes the button that people will press when they're viewing the presentation. All right. Speaker notes. Okay. So whenever you do a presentation, you're giving it in front of a large group of people, and rather than maybe reading something that was printed, you can actually read from speaker notes. And speaker notes you can add right down here at the bottom. All right. And you can increase this so your speaker notes are a little easier to get to. But you'll find an example graphic here on slide 14. So the way it's going to work is whenever you do a presentation, typically you're going to be connected to an external monitor. So you'll have the option to see your notes in front of you while your audience is going to see your presentation. So because I'm doing this, it's going to act a little bit differently, so we'll actually be seeing both. So the way you're going to see the speaker notes here is whenever you click the Present button, there's actually a drop-down menu there, and you would choose Presenter View. All right, so this little window right here, this is what you would have on your computer. I can't even point here. This right here is what your audience is going to see. Because I'm connected to the projector and I'm live streaming this, I can't really duplicate what I'm trying to show you. But here's where all your notes are. And then you can move through your presentation just by clicking the next or previous little icons right down here. All right? Now, the next thing that I want to show you is super cool because you can get some real-time feedback from your students when you use audience tools. So if I was to start a new session here, what it's going to do is it's going to take my presentation and it's going to put a URL up at the very top. So you could ask your students, well, what did you think about that video we just showed? Or do you agree with this or that? If they go to that web address right now, and you all could try this, maybe on your phone or in a web browser, open up another tab, go to that web address. I know it's a little hard to see, but slides.app, I wish these were shorter, .goo. But what will happen is I will see those questions appear right here. Who can be the first to actually get there and type in something, I wonder? Let's see. Ah, how do I do this? You just did it. Yeah, good job. All right, and so if I clicked present, I can see what she submitted, and so can everybody else. Katie Farrell got it. And what's nice too is that students can thumbs up or thumbs down these as well. Okay, yeah, she got it. Yeah, so it just brings another level of engagement with your students during a presentation, making it interactive. All right, good job, Carly. Zachary there.
Did you get to that in the first place?
Yes, that's going to be under presenter tools. So let me go back one screen here. All right, I'm going to close out of that. All right, so if I hit escape, yeah. So while you're in presentation edit mode, right next to present, you're going to see presenter view. All right, and when you choose that, then you're going to see these two windows. All right, this one you'll have in front of you. Your presentation, obviously, that'll be the one connected to an external screen or monitor. All right.
Where do you get the address that we put in?
Oh, that automatically is generated by Google Slides. So when you click on Audience Tools and you choose Start New, it's going to automatically create that URL and put it there for you. Okay? It's pretty cool, I think. And then in addition to this, you also have these little neat tools. During the presentation, in the lower left-hand corner, you put your cursor down there, you'll see those three dots there. First off, the numbers, those are going to let you get to any other slide in your presentation really quickly. All right, and then of course, you know, back and forward, and you can cycle through. But look here, we've also got a laser pointer built in. So if I chose laser pointer, okay, class, I want you to go to this web address right here. Okay? And you have to be careful with this one. All right, you have closed captions. Yeah, just be careful with it. All right, it's not always 100% perfect, and you might be saying one thing and it enters something else. All right, so if I started here, okay. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? All right, I'm going to quickly take it off. That was safe, but it basically took the text and it positioned it down there at the bottom for me. All right, and you can adjust the size of that or the layout just by going to Caption Preferences. See, you can adjust the size, either the top or the bottom. Okay. You also have some options here where you could quickly get to your Q&A. You can download your presentations as a PDF, a PowerPoint. You can print them, give you some keyboard shortcuts here. If you have a presentation that you want to loop automatically, so for example, maybe a set of instructions that you want your students to see when they come into the classroom, loop would be very useful. I remember when I taught computer technology, I had middle schoolers, and I would basically have at the beginning of a class rotating slides that would just repeat instructions over and over. So when they came to me asking, what do I do? I'm just pointing to the slides. Just read. It's right there. Okay? All right, and of course, you hit the escape key to get out of the active presentation. All right, let's see what else we have here.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
So if you put on the audience tools and the kids have the link and they can ask questions, then they leave the room and you're restarting the presentation for the new group. Do you need to restart a brand new presentation, or can they still ask questions from the other classroom? Like if they're in a whole different room?
As long as they're connected, they've entered that URL, they can still ask it. But what you would do is if you have a new group of students come in, you would start a new session. And so you have that option whenever you're using presenter tools. Yeah, just choose the Start New option. Okay, essential add-ons. We have...
Hey, Tom. Sorry.
Oh,
I have a question
thank
real
you.
quick.
Yes, go right ahead.
Sorry, I did my little hand raise thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. So whenever you're doing a presentation and you want to use your speaker notes, does it look different if you're using something like an Apple TV and AirPlay I feel like I tried to do it the other day, and what was on the screen was like my presenter notes were on the screen too.
Okay. I know with the mobile, you were using your phone?
No, I was using my computer and it was in the Lyceum at the high school.
Okay. If it was seeing your notes too, then you may have been simply mirroring your display as opposed to using the Apple TV as an extended display.
So I should do like
You'd have to use
okay,
it.
use
Yeah,
it as
you
a
would.
separate display
That's right.
instead of just mirror. Okay.
That's right. Yes. Otherwise, that's going to happen. Yeah, they're going to see your notes too.
Yeah. So I turned that off because I was like, oh no, that's not good.
Yeah.
Okay, just curious. I've confused myself with that, so that makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for asking that. Okay. Let's take a look at some of these add-ons here. So if we go back now to our resource doc, we've got icons for slides, slides background, and then slides toolbox. I've used each of these add-ons. And to get an add-on to work, what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the add-ons menu in Google Slides, and you can see I have several that I've added. But if you want to add some of your own, you'd scroll to the bottom there and you would choose Get Add-ons. You see what happens when you click that option is the Google Workspace Market Space will appear, and you'll see lots of options. So basically, what you're doing here is you're making slides a whole lot more powerful than it was originally. Okay. Now, the one that I'm highlighting here, one of them is called Icons for Slides and Docs. So I have to create this slideshow that appears in the Commons area. And oftentimes, the information I get, I like to associate a graphic with it, more of a visual cue for the students who see it. So what I'll do is I'll go to this add-on, and we have it under add-ons. And here it is, Icons for Slides and Docs. And you can go ahead and install these if you want to. Just click on the link there and then go through the installation process. But if I choose to start this add-on, notice what will happen. This little sidebar will appear, and then I see all these icons. So I made one for volleyball earlier. So let's say I wanted to do one for football. Okay, find an icon there. Oh, look. Lots. So let's say I like this one. But if I don't want the color black, I can actually choose one of these colors. Or I can customize a color here. Look at that. We're getting kind of close to Alcoa colors here. Not perfect. Let's see. I think I'm getting further away now. Kind of close. All right. And then I can select the size. I'll make that as large as I can, which is 512 pixels. And when I click Insert, boom, there it is. And I can then use that however I want. So again, that's just a time saver. You're not having to go to a website and do a Google search and find it and download it and bring it in. It's all right here. Okay? Miss Henry, how would I remove that icon if I don't want it on this? Very good. I'm doing that. It's gone. Thank you. All right. And the next one, slides background. So if you're bored by the existing backgrounds here and you want to want something a little more colorful, you can go to add-ons. And I'm going to choose slides background. I'll choose that. It'll bring up the generator engine. And so how this add-on works is I have to first select a theme. Okay, Appalachian Fall. I'll choose that theme. All right, and then I'll pick some options here. Hexagon size, let's say size 10. All right, now let's generate this and see what it looks like. Oh, I kind of like that, but I want the hexagons to be a little larger. Oh, I can't go that. I'll go size 100. There we go. All right. There we go. See how that works? Kind of cool. And I'm going to undo that.
Okay, how did you get there again?
Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. So this was an add-on that you'll have to install.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So if you go back here to the resource doc, that one that we used is right here, slides background. Yeah, so you just click on that link. It'll take you right to the Google Workspace Marketplace, and then you go ahead and add it. And then once you've added it, you'll find it under add-ons. And of course, like I said before, you can search yourself for the add-ons by just going to the Get Add-ons option here.
There's never a charge for those.
Well, there are some add-ons that have pro-level features that will stop allowing you to use them after a certain time frame. Yeah, so the idea for them is that you get hooked to these features and that you want to buy them a little bit later. And I understand that. That's how they make their money. That's how they earn a living. Yeah. There was...
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Along these, and I don't know how to ask the question, so I'll try my best.
Okay.
I just found out about a thing called Slides Carnival. Are you familiar with that?
Don't think so. Slides Carnival.
Yes.
Okay.
Slides Carnival. It's got all these cool. It's sort of like a PowerPoint, but it's got all your templates for
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah.
And it'll let you download it, and it goes into Google. My question is, like, if you've already got a presentation and you download that into Google, can you change to that presentation? Does that make sense? Like you change that autumn back into the autumn thing. If I change into one of those, can I change a presentation I already have made?
Oh, I see. So you basically want to change the theme of an existing presentation to match. Yes. Yes. And I believe whenever we were working with, where was it? Format, edit, slide, edit theme. Yeah, if you went to, no, it wasn't edit theme. It was change theme. I'm sorry. Slide and change theme. Down at the bottom, you see where it says import theme. That's where you would go. You would choose import, and then you would locate that presentation that's in your drive, and then it would pull that in. Yeah, and you can try that. And if you have trouble with it, we can come look at that and maybe get it working for you. Okay. The last one is Slides Toolbox, which is very useful, because what this is going to allow you to do is to take all of your slides. Maybe you want to export them somewhere else. Well, if I made a slide here and I wanted to export it out as a graphic, I'd have to do it one slide at a time. With Slides Toolbox, if I open that up, look at what we can do here. We can bulk remove elements. We have export tools here. Export all the text of an existing presentation. Export just the slide images, the slides that contain pictures. We can export those. A lot of options here that'll really save you some time. Again, this is something that I use with the slideshow in the Commons area, because each of those slides that appear on the screen, those are separate graphic files. And so when I build a lot of these, I'll use a tool like this to quickly export them, and then I can place them where I want to. All right. Again, this is more of a time saver than anything else. You could do a lot of this stuff manually, but who has time? No time. No time. Okay. Well, this is the last part here of the presentation. And since you all have shown up here, and this applies to those who are tuning in remotely, if you want to go ahead and click that link on the resource doc training completion form, and then click that link that appears when you click on the text, go ahead and complete that form there. And what will happen is after you type in the requested information, this will automatically generate a certificate of completion, and it will email it to you right away. So make sure you type the information in correctly, or you'll have a certificate that is containing errors. This little workflow that I've done here used the add-on called Autocrat. So basically it took a form and merged it with a Google Slides presentation, and it generated a PDF that gets sent to all the people who submit the form. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah, so as soon as you submit that, about a minute later, you should get an email with your PDF. Raise your hand if you got it. Good job. Good job. All right. We moved kind of quickly today. I apologize if it felt a little bit rushed. This session has been recorded, so if you want to go back and review any of it, I'll be making it available in the coming days. I appreciate everyone coming, and of course, if you continue to come, you're going to increase your chances for that big giveaway at the end of this school year, some tech-related product. So looking forward to that. If you have any questions, I'll be sticking around for a few minutes to entertain those, but that's going to do it. All right, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for coming, Menda.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna go find my germ busters.